guys, it's AceSpartan here for Endless Upkeep, and today we're bringing you a deck tech for Magic the Gathering deck that I played during the Gatecrash Game Day 1. It's called Dimir, Drownyard. It's a black-blue deck which does three things. It kills, controls, and mills. So let's get into it. Alright, here we go. We're starting with the creatures, and there's only 5 creatures in the deck, and for 4 of them, it's placed at a Snapcaster Mage. It can bring any kill spell or counter back to be reused another time, and it's a 2/1 flash blocker pretty much. So that's 4 of them, and the one-of copy is a Consuming Aberration. It's a finisher. It also helps me mill if need be. It didn't do much during game day, but it did become a big threat one game, and they lost to it. So it's pretty good when you drop it and you have a Thought Scour or some other cheap spell to pump him up, plus get rid of something else. So only 5 creatures, 4 Snapcaster Mages, and a Consuming Aberration. Now, we have 5 Planeswalkers as well. The 3 Planeswalkers consist of Liliana of the Veil. It gets rid of something out of their hand, make them sack a creature, and if I did pull, I don't think I pulled the ultimate off, but if the ultimate went off, it also helps me fill up their graveyard to do work for Consuming Aberration. I mainly used it for the sack because they did have a big threat on the field, and obviously for 3 mana I made them sack a creature. And the discard ability worked well as well. So that's 3 of them, and 1 Tamio, the Moon Sage. I didn't use her much. I mainly used her for her second ability, which is draw a card for each tapped creature an opponent controls. And also, the first ability to keep something tapped down for a turn did help against an aggro match. And the last ability I never pulled off, but I'm pretty sure it would have helped as well. And for the last Planeswalker, it's Jace, Memory Adept. He is also one of our finishers. The top 10 is just crazy with the Aberration. Plus, it just gets rid of a lot of their threats that they could have pulled during the game. Also, the +1 draw a card and make them mill a card did help a lot. And the ultimate we didn't pop off at all, but it would have been crazy. But the top 10 is one that did work. So 5 Planeswalkers, 3 Liliana the Veils, Jace, Memory Adept, and Tamio, Moon Sage. Now, we have 25 instants and sorceries. This is the base of the deck pretty much. So let's start with the counters. We have 4 Psychic Strikes. This is a basic counter, but it does mill 2. The mill 2, it's somewhat like the Thought Scour. It doesn't mill that much, but it does help. And plus the counter, it pretty much puts 3 cards in the graveyard for 3 mana, which is, I'm fine with that. And yeah, there's 4 copies. Also, we also have a Dissipate. It gets rid of that one spell forever, like a Lingering Soul or something, or their big threat that they could bring back by Unburial Rites or something. I didn't use it that much because Psychic Star was the key one, the king counter spell, but Dissipate was there just for backup. And for our other spell to get rid of something is 2 Syncopates. I had a lot of mana open because just I could react to anything, and Syncopate did help a lot. So we have 2 Syncopates, Dissipate, and 4 Psychic Strikes for a counter. Alright, now we have our utility spell. It's Dimir Charm, only 2 copies of it. I didn't want to go full 4. I mainly used it for its second ability to destroy a creature with 2 power or less. Also, the counter target sorcery spell did help against a flashback Lingering Souls. And the Fate Seal ability to look at their deck, the top cards, did help as well. So I gave them land every time, so they had no answer to anything that I had. But it's really good, and I only have 2 copies, which is fine. And now for our draw power, we have 3, I think twice. It did help to have them in the graveyard at times if I did a Liliana effect or they had their own Liliana. But the 2 for draw is fine, and the flashback is reasonably priced, so it did really help me speed up my game. Also, we have our 4 Thought Scours as well. Um, the 2 mil is fine, and I get a cantrip for it, so that's good too. And it's pretty much a 1-for-1. I replace the card in my hand, plus they get a mill too, which helps speed up the mill process as well. So this is the draw for 4 Thought Scours and 3 Think Twices. So good. Alright, now we have our kill spells, and for the first kill spell we have 2 copies of Victim of the Night. It got rid of pretty much anything. Thragtusk, Restoration Angel. Also, it got around Boros Reckoner, which was a pain in the ass for everybody. The only thing that it couldn't get rid of is Olivia and Stormkirk Noble, which did provide some hate against me, but eventually I got around stuff. But it did do work. For 3 copies, we have Devour Flesh. It got around Vampires. It did get around Boros Reckoner, like every other spell, like Victim of the Night here. And it got rid of anything pretty much at my leisure. And the life gain did not matter to me because I was about milling and not trying to kill them unless it was creeping aberration or consuming aberration. Next we have 2 Ultimate Prices. It got rid of any mono colors, so it did get rid of Resto Angels, Thragtusk, anything that was mono, which is a good amount of number. And for our last kill spell is 2 Tragic Slips. This did combo off with Devour Flash, Victim of the Night, all my kill spells. And it worked pretty well. And that's for my kill spells here. And now we have our land. It's 25 land. And here we go. We have 4 Watery Graves, very needed. 4 Drowned Catacombs, obviously it's blue-black. And we have 6 Swamps, 5 Island, because we don't have any more type of land. And we have the main thing about the deck is the Drownyard. Nephelia Drownyard. This is a draw-go style type deck, and having this with 3 other mana, it prevents a threat whether they want to play something or they sit down or let it go and I mill them. So it did work. And also for some tech against Cavern Souls, I had 2 Ghost Quarters. Even if they didn't have Cavern Souls and they had one type of dual land that provided them that one type of mana they needed, I would pop it, even though if I had about 4 mana, and they would search for a basic land, which a lot of decks here are in a lot of dual lands, and if they're lucky, they only get to search out 2 or 3 basic lands. So Ghost Quarters was tech against Caverns, and it did help. So this is 25 land here. Now, we have the sideboard, 15 cards, and I'll get there right now. And yeah, we'll start with this. We have 2 Cyclonic Rifts. It gets rid of Planeswalkers for a turn. It gets rid of artifacts, Witchbane Orbs, stuff like that. And it didn't provide that much help. I didn't have to bring it in, but it was just there for just in case. And next we have 1 Psychic Spiral. This is against the mirror match or Esper Drownyard, and no one played Dimir Drownyard except me, so this didn't provide anything for me during it, but it was just in case as well. And now for we had 5 counters. We had Dispel, gets rid of Sphinxes, they're countering my counter, things like that. 2 Negates, they countered anything like Planeswalkers as well that would give me trouble. And 1 more Dissipate, just to have the extra card that would completely wipe something out of the game. And now we have 2 Duresses. This is for the counter matchup as well, the control matchup. It didn't do much for me because most of the decks, they didn't have much control for some reason. It was all mid-range creatures, so I couldn't really sideboard it in, but it's there for the control match. Also, here's our kill spells. We have 1 more Victim of the Night. It did prove to help me a lot, so I just stuck 1 in there. 2 Deadweight. I chose this over Tragic Slip because most things now are becoming 2/2s, and I needed something right off the bat to kill Stormkirk Noble. So 2 dead weights, it's a -2/-2 for 1 mana, which is awesome. And we have something against tokens. We have 2 Curse of Death holds. It's 5 mana that gives everything -1/-1 to all your opponent's creatures, but it improved anything because there was no token builds at our game day, so it was there for tech against tokens. And for the last is Witchbane Orb. This did help me against a Jund matchup, also against another counter mill type build. And it's 4 mana, they can't target me, and pretty much they have to attack me, which mid-range decks didn't want to sometimes, and control decks, they really couldn't attack. So yeah, here's 15 cards. Alright, so that was it. That was Dimir Drownyard. So like, comment, subscribe to us here on YouTube. Also check out our website, endlessupkeep.com. We'll bring you more deck techs and some matches as well as box openings. So yeah, peace.